transferring it over into your entrepreneurial realm, what are like your performance standards that you want to live up to with building out this Empire Iron Faith? Because you're bringing in these absolute studs. You're killing it in the Rhode Island scene and that New England scene for wrestling. How are you going to keep projecting out that standard for your business?
Yeah, so my like I said, what I want for myself at this point, it may change as time goes on, but I want Iron Faith and myself to be known as, or just say we'll say Iron Faith. I want Iron Faith to, when people think about wrestling, that's where you go. And what I am doing is trying to give away as much information as possible for free so that people people trust the brand. They've learned from, Iron Faith. They've watched out my hour-long instructionals on YouTube, and they've read my articles that I've written. And pretty much when people think about wrestling, they're like, this is the guy to go to. This is the you want to look at online instructionals. Oh well, Iron Faith Wrestling has 40 hours of every single position you could possibly think of for free on YouTube. And that is something I learned from. So one of the biggest people I follow for business is Alex Ramosi, because he's a gym owner, similar to what I do. There are some differences, I think, between wrestling and gym. But so that's one of the things that he did. The more you can give without asking, the bigger your, like, people trust you more or whatever. The brand grows more. The more people feel like almost they want to give you something. You've given me so much, like I want to give you something back. And he said that's the fastest way to grow. The fastest way to grow is to give without asking for anything in return. So that's what I'm trying to do, because my main thing is actually the main part that I do for the business is marketing. So I do all the social media, I do all the emailing, all the stuff like that. So I'm trying to build this brand, which essentially is like giving, and not asking and not wanting anything back. And then essentially, when enough people are like, please, I want to buy something from you, if we have a product that I think is good enough, we'll give it to them. But, for now, our main product we do focus on is just the memberships. Our main product is getting a kid coming into our club and getting them better at wrestling. And that's our main focus. And like I said, we try to hit on every category: mindset, nutrition, strength, technique. The technique in the wrestling is our biggest thing, of course. But, how can we get a kid to come in? Imagine your 10-year-old comes in, wrestles 3 to 4 times a week, does lifting on the opposite days, eats right, and does mindset training. Kid's going to be unstoppable. So it's
Mhm.
my job to figure out, how can I get this kid to do that? So how can I get my incentives lined up for these kids? How can I get them to show up for every class? Maybe it's maybe it's the belt system that we made. Like, hey, you got to visit, you got to come here. Part of getting your next belt is you got to make sure you show up. Right now, what we're doing for the weightlifting is, um, if you so they fill out their weightlifting sheet, they put it in a bucket. The end of every month, I pull one out and I give one of the kids like free merch. So these, like, little kids, I'm trying to get them to get yoked out of their mind, and I'm trying to incentivize them to do that. And same thing with, we got to figure out even better ways. So my goal is for all these kids to come into the club and to be wrestling 3 times a week, doing strength training, eating right, getting their mindset down, watching technique videos that already are part of my system. These kids will be insanely good if they can do that. So if I can set up the right incentives and encourage them the right way and get them to buy in, I think it's going to be game over. I don't think anybody will be able to hang, but